Hey everybody, welcome back to Down the Shore Homestead. So this is the third installment into the 10 videos in 10 days challenge. And Rocco and I were going to discuss advice from a woman's point of view to the young men of the younger generation, because I feel like we have a lot that we can help them out with. So Rocco says, I hope you like this advice that my mom's going to give you. Right, bud? I noticed there was a glare on the screen, so I moved the camera around a little bit. So like I said, this is going to be some advice for the young men of the younger generations. And if you are a parent, maybe you can put in some comments below of anything that I will not talk about today. And if you're from an older generation that has some advice, put it in the comments below as well. And I have a son who I have talked to about these things and thought maybe you guys could get something out of these as well. To start with, I would say that in order for you to be happy, you need to make yourself happy. And I've mentioned this in other videos as well. Until you're happy with yourself, you are not going to be happy with anybody or in any job or in your life in general. You have to figure out what's going to make you happy. And once you figure out how to make yourself happy, then you'll be able to be happy in the other aspects of your life. You need to start with small goals first, like as you're starting out. I want a new bike. I want nicer clothes. I want to be able to go out and have adventures. I want to get a place of my own and not live with my parents anymore. What do you want to do for a career? And don't fall into the trap of going to college. If you don't have the backing to go to college and you're going to have to go into debt to go to college, then I would suggest you find other ways of making a living, whether it's certifications, trade schools, starting a side hustle and growing that into a successful business. Either way, you do not want to start off your life in debt. Talk to a financial advisor, learn how to become fiscally responsible, and look at alternative ways of making money to start your career. And when you're young, find multiple jobs to figure out what you want to do for a career in your life. Try to make as many friends as possible, because a lot of things fall into your lap through acquaintances. And never burn a bridge, because you never know when you're going to need somebody that you've met in your past that may be able to help you in the future. Don't make unreasonable goals. For instance, don't put in your goals that you want to buy a Lamborghini in 5 years, but don't have a plan to get to that goal. So start off small goals, achievable goals, and then work your way up to those big goals that you want. And you are not entitled to anything. You are not above starting at the bottom and working your way up to the top. And honestly, I did that. I started at the bottom, worked my way up to the top. And I believe that I'm a more successful engineer because I learned the ropes on my way up to where I am now. And don't be envious of others. If a female has a better job than you or is smarter than you, don't be envious of her. Try and find out where she got her knowledge from. Try and find out why she's so successful. Or if someone's younger than you and they're doing better than you, don't be envious of them as well, because maybe you just need to find out how they got to where they're at and what did they do. Maybe you didn't think of the path that they took, and maybe you can mimic what they did to be as successful as them. And never judge anybody of their financial status or the things that they have, because they may be seriously extended financially and in major debt. Never judge the book by its cover. And never judge anybody if they're poor or rich, or what they look like, or what they have, or where they live. You don't know what struggles they've dealt with throughout their life, and you don't know what they're dealing with now. So never, ever judge anybody, because you wouldn't want someone to judge you. So treat people better than you want to be treated. Like I said in a previous video, if you are okay with how some people treat you, and technically it's not a good way to treat you, you shouldn't be treating other people that way either. You need to treat people better than the way that you expect people to treat you. And when it comes to businesses, the more people you know, the better opportunities are going to show up for you. And don't go dyeing your hair crazy colors and getting tattoos all over your body and on your face and have all of these big earrings and things like that, and then get ticked off if you can't find a job. You have to remember that you represent the business that you work for. So if they don't want people with big earrings and purple hair and tattoos on their face, it's okay for them to say, no, you might be qualified, but we're not going to hire you because You represent their company. They may not want you to represent them as a company. And that's okay, because if you owned a company and you were looking to get customers, you wouldn't want someone who looks like a freak to be a representative of your company. So it's totally understandable. And by the way, capitalism works. I hear a lot of kids nowadays talking about, oh, socialism is the best. People in other countries get free college and free healthcare and free this and free that. Well, guess what? We, the people, pay the taxes for those programs for people to get things for free. So think about this. If you have a brother or sister and they sit around and do nothing, and you do all the chores and get paid for those chores, but then your parents were to say to you, we're going to implement socialism, so you have to give half of your pay to your brother or sister who did nothing to get that pay. That's socialism. You do all the work so that someone else can sit on their butt and do nothing and get half of your pay. Does that sound fair? Because I don't think so. And I don't want to hear that it's the new socialism and there's new ways of doing it. That's BS. There's no way that that works. It's been tried and true in many different countries. And that is why the United States has a constitutional republic, not a democracy. We don't have communism and we don't have socialism. So if you don't believe me, go back and look at history and tell me when socialism has actually worked. Because I guarantee you, you're probably not going to find a place where it did, or the people are happy and can get ahead. For instance, I know people that are from Italy that moved here, became citizens, and are happier here in the United States because they have their own business and are successful. But in Italy, you get half of your pay taken for all of the programs that they have. Now, this was many years ago when I heard this, so maybe things have changed now. All I know is back then, when they left Italy, 50% of their pay went to the programs for people who sat on their butt and did nothing. They came here, created a business, and are now successful. So America is not that bad. So don't fall for the propaganda. And don't fall for the propaganda that's out there now that tells you that masculinity is bad. Masculinity is not bad. As a woman, we want a man who can help provide for us financially and give us safety. We want to feel safe in our homes. We want to feel safe with the person that we're with. We want to feel loved. We want to have someone who's going to create special memories with us. We want people that are going to make us happy. And there is nothing wrong with having somebody by your side that can do the things that you can't do. For instance, I ask my husband sometimes, hey, I can't do that. Can you do that for me? And he is more than happy to help me out. And I know women are going to say, but women can do anything a man can do. Well, I'm sorry, you're wrong. A man is a provider and a protector, and a woman is a nurturer and a teacher. And that's just the way it is. And if you don't like that, then I guess you can just not watch my channel anymore, because that's a fact. I'm sorry. Look what happened in the Olympics. That genetic male beat the crap out of a female and won a medal because he pretended to be a female. So don't believe the propaganda that we want men who can pretend to be women or are less masculine. We want men, and we need men to be men in the future. So even if you are not from a religious family, you still need to have morals. And if you weren't raised with morals, then I'm here to tell you that you basically need to be respectful, whether that person has earned your respect or not. Right off the bat, you need to respect somebody you have just met. They don't have to earn your respect. You need to respect them. And then when they disrespect you, you can stop respecting them. Hold the door open for people when you're walking into a store. Be nice. Be nice to everybody. I don't care if someone's being rude to you. Don't be rude back, because honestly, they hate it when you're nice to them. They want to get a rise out of you. And I fall for it sometimes, and I try not to, but I do. I'll admit it. It's hard. But if someone's getting in your face and they're being rude to you, just be nice. Say, okay, thank you. Have a nice day. That will tick them off more than you'll know. It's hilarious, actually. Don't steal. Don't put people down. Be nice to your neighbors, because look what happened in North Carolina. The whole neighborhoods came together to help each other out in the disaster. And you might need that someday. So be neighborly. And sometimes you just have to let things go that people have done to you because it's not worth fighting over. You're probably never going to see that person again. So let it go. If you hold the door open for somebody and they don't say thank you, let it go. Maybe they're just having a bad day. Be grateful for what you have, because a lot of people might not have as much as you do. So always be thankful for what you have, what you've been able to accomplish, and be proud of what you've been able to accomplish. Even if it's a small thing, you should always be proud of what you have accomplished in your life. And always live below your means, because materialistic things don't mean anything. You might have a neighbor that has a beautiful Corvette and you're envious of it, but you shouldn't be, because you don't know how much you paid for that, whether he's in debt because of that. And it's just a car. Why would you need to spend so much money on a car that's just going to get you from point A to point B? It's just a status symbol. And honestly, it doesn't mean anything. Now, if you're really into cars and you want to go out and purchase one because you really like cars, then okay, I get that. If you're just driving it to get back and forth to work and do errands, do you really need an expensive car? To me, that's just silly. You don't need that. So live below your means. You don't need the latest and greatest cell phone. You don't need the big 75-inch TV. Now, if you love movies and you want a 75-inch TV, okay, I get that too. But I'm just saying, if you really don't need it, then think twice about getting it. Live below your means, because you need to create that generational wealth and have money for the future. Make sure you enjoy your life as well. Think about the experiences you want to have. Basically, create a bucket list. What are the things that you want to accomplish in your lifetime, and make sure that you actually get those things done, because life is extremely short and you really need to enjoy every single day as if it were your last. And getting high and drinking is an experience you can have when you're younger, and a lot of people will do that. And take it from me, who did it when I was younger, it is an experience, but you don't have to participate in it. I have heard that some of this younger generation has decided to be sober and not participate in those things. And you will find that you can actually have a great time without the chemical influence that people have when they do those things. And you're going to remember things better, because you're not going to have a hangover. And you don't know what's in these drugs now, so it's best to just stay away from getting high. And it's best to drink in moderation. And if you can, just stay away from it altogether, because honestly, it doesn't make your night any better than if you were sober. Now, when you're looking to get a girlfriend, number one, never trust the girl has protected herself. Always assume that she hasn't, and wear your protection. And she may be the most religious girl in the world and the nicest girl in the world, but you never ever know if she forgot to take it or if she is even taking it. So never trust them, so that you don't get yourself into a situation that you didn't want to be in. Now, make sure she is caring, smart, has goals, is not materialistic, and is willing to make you both successful in life and can plan for the future. Because if she's needy or materialistic, it's probably not going to last for the rest of your life. And when you decide to get married, it should be for the rest of your life. She should be your soulmate. And if she's not, don't settle. Please don't settle. It's not worth settling, because it gets you in situations where you should not be in. I know a lot of men who are in relationships and have kids who are completely miserable. Their wives are just horrible and they should not be together, but they settled. And I will say, for all of you out there, I don't want anybody to be in that situation. It's a horrible situation to be in. You should be happy in your life with your kids and your wife. It should not be dreadful to wake up every day, go to work, come home, and be with a miserable wife and crazy kids who don't listen to you. So please, please make sure that the woman that you are going to marry is your soulmate, who wants to have a great life with you as a partner, not as someone who's going to take care of them. They need to also be able to take care of themselves. You both need to be successful in life, not just one be successful and take care of the other one. And also remember that your future wife is not your mother. I don't care how you were treated at home. I don't care if you're a mama's boy or you took care of yourself. Doesn't matter. When you move in with your girlfriend or future wife, make sure you clean up after yourself because she's not your mother. And be mindful of what you are doing in your house. Share the chores. And if you have a cup of coffee next to the computer and you're getting up to go do something, take the cup with you. Be mindful. Oh, I got a cup here. Let me go put it in the sink, or let me rinse it out and reuse it. You come home from work, take your shoes off, put them in the same spot every day. You know where they're at. You're not tracking dirt all over the house. Hang your keys, put your wallet in the same place every day. Create habits, because then you won't be like, oh, where did I put my keys? Oh man, where's my wallet? What did I do with that again? Be mindful and create habits. Everything should have a place so that you don't lose the important items that you need to get yourself out the door in the morning. And being mindful and creating habits and putting things back where they belong will help you not spend an entire day cleaning your house. And don't clean your house all in one day. Do dusting one day, do vacuuming another day, which actually, if you dust one day, you should vacuum the same day. But anyways, dust and vacuum one day, clean the kitchen and clean the floors one day, clean the bathroom and clean the bathroom floors one day. Spread them out throughout the week so that on the weekends when you are off work, you can go out and enjoy yourselves and not be in the house all day cleaning. And when I say take turns with the chores, if you cook dinner, she should do the dishes. If she cooks dinner, you should do the dishes. Take turns. And there's nothing wrong with sharing the chores, because chores aren't based on gender. Because before you got a girlfriend or a wife, you had to take care of everything yourself. I'm sure you did your dishes, your laundry, and all of that. So share the chores. And coming from someone who gets distracted very easily, creating habits actually helps. Because if I don't come home and put my stuff in the same spot every day, I will lose something. Now, if your girlfriend or wife is doing something that you do not like, sit down with them and discuss it calmly, and don't blame. Say things like, I feel like you don't listen to me, or I feel like you are doing this task on purpose to upset me. It takes them off the defense and lets them give you an honest answer to what you feel they are doing to you. And you can discuss it and decide a path forward so that those things don't upset you again. And they can bring anything that they don't like to the table as well. And every so often, you should probably sit down and just say, hey, how are you feeling about things? Is everything okay? How's our relationship? Is there anything we need to work on? There is nothing wrong with that. My husband and I actually do that sometimes. Now, if you want to be the super husband or the super boyfriend, don't just use Valentine's Day as a day to make her feel special. Do things throughout the year, not on a holiday, just a random Tuesday, Thursday, Wednesday, whatever. It could be any day of the week or weekend, and just surprise her with something simple. Some flowers, some chocolates, surprise her with a lunch or a night out that she didn't know about, or just a handwritten note. So sometimes my husband will leave me a note because he gets home from work so late and I'm sleeping, for me to see in the morning, and that just makes my day. So that makes a girl feel extra special, and she will brag to everybody you know that you're such an awesome boyfriend or awesome husband. So keep that in mind. And try to listen to each other, because they may be dropping hints about something that they may want for their birthday or Christmas or whatever. Or maybe you're walking down the street and she was like, hey, look at that. That's pretty neat. And if you can remember that and then buy them that for their birthday or Christmas, they will be totally surprised that you were paying attention and love you even more for thinking about something that they said a month ago, 2 months ago, 6 months ago. So just keep that in mind. That'll give you some bonus points. Never go to bed angry, because you never know if you're going to wake up the next day to be able to apologize. So when you're on the phone, let the last thing be, I love you, or something positive. If they're walking out the door, make the last words be something positive. Same with when you go to bed. Make the last thing you say to them positive, because you never know when something bad is going to happen, and you don't want to be that person that says, oh my gosh, this was the last words I had with them, and it not be something positive. If you can't not be mad at each other when you go to bed, agree to disagree, make up, and put that conversation off for another day or the next day. But go to bed that night agreeing to just disagree and make up. Rocco had to come back and get back into the conversation and tell him, Rock, don't nitpick each other. Don't make things build up until you're about ready to just explode. Sit down and have that conversation about what's upsetting you and come up with a plan to prevent those things from happening in the future. And hopefully this jet up here is not too loud. So I'm going to wrap this up now, because it looks like the Air Force is going to start doing their maneuvers. So the one big takeaway would be, in your life, you need to be able to adapt, be flexible, and improvise, because life is always changing and evolving, and you need to be able to adjust when those things are trying to get you off course from your goals and make changes to get back on track. So Rocco and I hope you got something out of this video. If you did, hit a thumbs up. And if you have any comments, put them in the comments below so that we can all learn from each other. And subscribe, because I have some other videos that I'm going to be uploading soon. And also remember, guys, don't let the activists who want to confuse you about your gender and your place in this world. We like strong, masculine men. Hopefully I see you on the next video.